The first thing the woman did after being reborn was to castrate the presumptuous servant and feed his family jewels to the dogs. It turned out that in her previous life she had been framed and poisoned, and 3 beggars on the street had robbed her of her chastity. The servant, seeing the woman in a daze, brought her back to the manor, but on the way they were harshly criticized by the crowd for the woman's shamelessness. The woman, in order to preserve her family's reputation, actually wanted to take her own life. Fortunately, the crown prince appeared just in time to save her, and stated that a woman's worth is not defined by the eyes of others. True chastity is about self-respect and self-love. The prince's words gave the woman the courage to live on, but she never dreamed that this was all a trap set by the servant. He knelt down in front of her parents and slapped himself wildly, claiming that the woman had been poisoned the night before, and in his desperation, he had no choice but to be intimate with her. Now the woman's reputation was at stake, and he begged her to marry him. The woman was momentarily unable to accept the truth and staggered. Her father, seeing the situation, quickly summoned the doctor to examine her. Sure enough, she had indeed been poisoned with a strange toxin. If not detoxified in time, her blood would flow backwards, and she would ultimately perish. The woman was currently on the list of candidates for the crown prince's consort, but now that such a scandal had occurred, she had committed the crime of offending the imperial authority. To save the lives of the entire family, her father decided to go apologize to the crown prince. The servant, however, relentlessly begged for the woman's forgiveness. He knelt outside the door for 3 days and 3 nights, and had also saved the woman's life. Left with no choice, the woman agreed to marry the servant, and devoted all her resources to helping him rise through the ranks, eventually becoming a great general who struck fear into the hearts of all. However, the good times did not last. After the servant had achieved success and fame, he revealed his true colors. The 3 beggars appeared before them. The servant then tore off his disguise and revealed the truth of that night. It turned out that 3 years ago, the one who had poisoned her was none other than the servant, and the ones who had ruined her chastity were the 3 beggars the servant had brought. Her father, upon hearing this, flew into a rage and immediately confronted him, but he was knocked to the ground with a slap from the servant, who even shamelessly declared that the once most admired beauty of the capital had now become his plaything. The woman's father was so enraged by the servant's unbridled ambition that he passed away on the spot. The woman too was stabbed through the heart by the servant's sword. She fell with a heart full of resentment and hatred. She vowed that if she had another life, she would make them pay with their lives. Perhaps she had received the mercy of the heavens, for she was actually reborn on the day she was poisoned. Recalling the tragic experiences of her previous life, she would never repeat the same mistakes in this life. She resolutely pulled out her hairpan and stabbed it into her thigh to keep herself alert. She remembered that in her previous life, the crown prince had been with her in an alley, so she staggered and stumbled until she found the crown prince. In this life, she would choose the bargaining chip to clear her name, and so the woman used the crown prince as her antidote. The next morning, the crown prince was startled awake by the scene before him.